What's next for the former first daughter? Ivanka Trump was given a lot of responsibility while her father was in office. Next to a relatively absent First Lady, Ivanka carried a lot of the weight of the role. With all that experience under her belt, it's no surprise she's considering a future in politics. Before Donald Trump was elected as president, his oldest daughter Ivanka Trump was running her own business and life. She lived as a Manhattan socialite rubbing shoulders with American royalty, aka Paris Hilton and Chelsea Clinton, and running her fashion brands. Now, with her father's stint in office behind them, some are speculating that the 39-year-old Ivanka will be the next family member to have their name on an election ballot. Rumors are flying that she may even be considering running for president in 2024. Ivanka Trump winning a presidential election wouldn't make her the first child of a former president to enter the elections, but it would make her the first female US president ever. The former first daughter has gained a lot of experience and recognition over the last 4 years. She's been a big part of the Trump administration, and so if she were to run, her reputation would sit within what her father has managed to achieve, as well as his failures. Ivanka stepped down from her White House post on January 20th as her father also left office. With the momentum of the recent election behind her, as well as her experience, it may be the perfect time for Ivanka and her husband to launch themselves into a new level of success in politics. Ivanka Trump has gone a long way since her days as a socialite hanging out at nightclubs in New York. She proved herself to be a woman with a head for business and a knack for spinning the media in her favor. Although she gained much of her success thanks to her family's empire, she has also worked hard to achieve her own success, independent of her father's enterprises. During her father's initial presidential campaign, Ivanka and her husband dropped everything to follow the campaign trail and support and defend her father's platform. She became one of the administration's most trusted supporters, and later, official advisors. During public appearances, the former president was often accompanied not only by his wife and young son Barron, but also by Ivanka. She would speak at press conferences and make speeches on behalf of issues regarding her father's views. Ivanka was instrumental in helping to get the public on board with her father's views on women's issues, including labor laws for working mothers. She even called her father a feminist in a 2016 interview with The Sunday Times, saying that he has employed women at high levels within his companies for years. During her father's 4 years in office, Ivanka gained a lot of experience that would help her possible future career. As a senior advisor for the White House, Ivanka took on some big responsibilities and served as an essential part of the former president's administration team. While working in her position, Ivanka was credited with a few headline-friendly achievements. She led a tax credit for families with children in 2017. She also launched a government-wide project to help 50 million women in developing countries obtain access to capital and vocational training. According to official statements, Ivanka's role in the Trump administration was largely focused on education and economic empowerment of women and families. Her job was also centered around the issues of jobs and economic growth, skill training, and entrepreneurship in America, as well as in developing countries. Part of Ivanka's role was to help with women's and children's charities, and she made an effort to support causes like Chai Lifeline and the Boys and Girls Club of America. Ivanka took on a lot more work than many first daughters from the past. Since she had already been building a career in business prior to her father winning the election, it was natural for the Wharton University economics graduate to step into a role within the administration. What was more surprising was that she adopted many of the responsibilities normally assigned to the First Lady. Given that her stepmother Melania was less keen on the professional side of her position, Ivanka became a leader, advocating for the administration's position on women's and children's rights and education, areas traditionally covered by the president's wife. Although some New Yorkers have voiced their opinions against the conservative first daughter running in their region, Ivanka may still have enough supporters to back her in a race. Last year, she said in an interview with The Atlantic that she intends to return to Manhattan at some point. Ivanka could be shopping states to see where she would have a decent chance at securing a place as a senator or in Congress. Some followers of the family are also speculating that she will try her hand at Florida. Since her father won the votes in the Sunshine State, some believe it may be a good option for Ivanka's budding political career. Ivanka and her husband have also recently purchased property in Florida, a $30 million lot near Indian Creek Island. The fact that Trump lost the 2020 election will not really determine Ivanka's future career in politics, since the race was closer than both parties would have liked. Trump maintains many millions of followers and supporters, voters that would potentially be open to one of his offspring taking up the reins to his legacy. Ivanka may also choose to run with her own platform, independent of her previous work with her family. It's conceivable that the former president would fully support his daughter if she plans to run, hopefully whether or not she chooses to maintain his policies. The former president has always given Ivanka high-ranking positions in his companies and projects, and obviously recognizes her skills. Regarding his heir's future, Donald Trump told The Atlantic in 2019, "If she ever wanted to run for president, I think she'd be very, very hard to beat." He went on to say, "She's a natural diplomat. She's got a tremendous presence when she walks into the room." Ivanka's husband, Jared Kushner, held a position in Washington as an advisor to the president regarding matters of foreign policy. He also helps Ivanka care for their 3 children, Arabella, Theodore, and Joseph. Ivanka told CBS that her kids were her top priority, and they would also play a major role in her decision to continue in politics or not. She said, "My decisions will always be flexible enough to ensure that their needs are being considered. They will really drive that answer for me." Kushner has recently opened up about being extremely supportive of his wife's possible political future. The same rumors that place Ivanka's name on upcoming ballots also say that her husband is already using his status to call friends in high places and put in a good word for Ivanka. Ivanka's oldest brother, Don Jr., is also considering furthering his political career. The eldest of Trump's kids has already started his career as a political activist and has a fairly large following on Twitter. Like his sister, Don Jr. has been eyeing property in Florida, and it's likely that Ivanka would have the support of her siblings and vice versa. Ivanka's father has also settled back into Mar-a-Lago, his massive estate home located in Florida, so it seems the family is setting up shop for their next big plans. And of course, if Ivanka decides to stay away from politics for a while, she always has her former career in fashion to fall back on. Although her line of women's clothing plummeted back in 2018, with new methods of e-commerce and the shift to online buying, she may be more equipped now to bring her brand back to the surface. While working with the White House, Ivanka further established her position as not only a woman in politics, but a fashion trendsetter. With her immaculate sheath dresses in conservative, muted tones and her always straight, perfectly parted hair, Ivanka became known for her style as much as her professional advising to the president. Ivanka also has the option to write another book. Just before the 2016 election, she released Women Who Work: Rewriting the Rules for Success, which hit some bestseller lists. Now more than ever, people may be interested to hear what Ivanka has to say. We're also not totally opposed to an in-home reality show featuring Ivanka and the family. Ivanka Trump for president? It's not that far-fetched. This former first daughter may face some challenges along the way, but many are betting that she has a future serving in the public arena. Does Ivanka have a real interest in politics, or was she simply using her skills to offer support to her family?
Ivanka Trump. Everybody loves Ivanka.
Will Ivanka run for a position in politics, or do you think she's had enough? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to The Taco for more empowering videos.